Welcome back, everybody, to another day of Acemas, and I've got a very, very special presentation for you. We're going to be playing a little game called Spot the Fake UFS Card, because I don't have a better name for it yet, but we're going to be playing a little game where my special guest here is going to be trying to decipher which of these cards I have concocted in my own mind, and which of these bizarre cards were actually printed. And do you want to introduce yourself to the fans real quick for us?
Hello. I'm Andrew from Response on Play. I am a team member slash the editor of the channel.
Awesome. Yeah. So if you guys don't know, if you haven't been paying attention to Response on Play, you definitely got to go check out their channel. I'll hopefully have a link pinned in the comments below. They have a wonderful podcast. They do some of the best reveals. And on top of all that, like, you guys just have incredible shorts content. The shorts content from other card games is like even, spot on. Like, I don't play Riftbound or any of the other stuff, but I'm still watching it.
Hell yeah. I love to hear that. That is not me. That is Steph that handles our shorts, so
Okay.
she deserves the cred there. But
I was
thank
gonna
you.
say I was gonna say she's got like food shorts like popping up in my feed, and I'm still watching them. So they're really good stuff, really
Heck
quality
yeah.
stuff. So definitely check out the shorts channel. I'm supposed to be doing shorts and TikToks, but I don't do anything consistently, and that's just how it is. But today we've got a game for you. The rules are very, very simple, Andrew. I'm going to show you a card, I guess. I was going to say two cards, but I'm going to show you two versions of a card, essentially. I have obscured the text box and given you one fake text and one real text. And you got to tell me which one is fake and which one is real. Are you ready to do that?
I am ready.
Okay, so to make this whole game work, just like Stutter Stinker, it's very important that you are not familiar with older retro cards. So when did you start with UVS or UFS?
The first set I remember playing with was the very first UU set, not Dark Tournament, like the very first Yu Yu Hakusho set
Yeah,
with the old card
UUO1.
design and everything.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure, I don't remember exactly. I'm pretty sure everything's older than that. So hopefully we didn't blow it, but I've got a couple cards for you. Are you ready to get started with number one?
I am ready.
All right, number one, Hyper Mega Buster. So you get everything outside of the text box. This is the real art of Hyper Mega Buster. It is really a
Right.
6 difficulty, 4 high for 5, 3 control card, and it really does have all good in order. But read out these two text box for me and tell me which one of these you think is the fake.
All right. So first one is it's got the ranged keyword, enhance, commit one card in your opponent's staging area, enhance, discard one momentum, commit one card in your opponent's staging area. The second one has ranged and weapon keywords with enhance, discard one card, commit one foundation in your opponent's staging area, and discard one momentum, commit one non-character card in your opponent's staging area. Ooh. I want to say I've actually looked at this card at one point in time,
Oh no.
but I don't remember the exact words.
Okay, good, good. All right.
Oh,
Yeah, these are
I
pretty similar, aren't they?
yeah, very similar. Left one only has one keyword, but it's commit instead of discarding a card for the committing of the first one says doesn't say foundation.
Yeah, so
My experience.
the one on the left you can commit any card twice.
Yeah. I know retro is full of goofy shit like that. So like that is a little easier for me to believe, but I can't this is actually kind of hard.
Would it help
I
you? So you can ask me, I should have covered this in the very beginning. You can ask me any questions you want about the card. Obviously, if it won't spoil the text, you can ask me like whose kit it was in, what product it's in. So for example, this is from the Mega Man starter tin. This is not
okay.
from the actual set itself. This is from the Mega Man tins that kind of acted as like a starter deck that has multiple characters in it, very similar to like how the Challenger series decks are.
Okay.
Notably, it also has no block.
Yeah, I do know a lot of retro cards, not everything had a block mod, which I thought was very interesting. which I kind of liked that sort of like difference. If a card was like really good, it didn't have a block mod.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think with everything that we've kind of talked about, I want to say it's the second one, the right version where it's ranged weapon.
Okay, I'm gonna have from now on. You gotta tell me final answer because once I advance the page, it's gonna spoil it. So is that your final answer, the one on the right?
Final answer.
All right, you are in fact incorrect, my
No.
friend. This
No.
I picked this one first because I thought it was kind of funny that it basically does the same thing twice, and it's
Yeah.
ludicrous to me that we used to have just a card that you could play first and commit your rival's
Yeah.
character.
I almost picked that one. I was like, there's no way that exists. Like, I understand retro's crazy, but there's no way they went that far.
Yeah, and the fact that you can do it twice, so even if they have like a way to ready their character, is super funny. Fun fact: there's also a 4 difficulty card called Kuga Yuricho Upper that is like a 4 high for 2 damage, and it just has first E commit 1 card in your opponent's staging area.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, and at the time, I'll tell you right now, Hyper Mega Buster barely playable. Like
That's interesting.
like not very good, wasn't seen very often. You'd see Yuricho Upper because it's a 4 diff, much more often than you see Hyper Mega Buster as a 6.
Yeah, I mean the stat line for a 6 diff here, not that crazy. This is like a stat line you would see on a 5 diff, maybe some 4 diffs.
Yeah, looking back at it though, I'll tell you right now, if we had like a time travel format, I think Hyper Mega Buster is something I'd be playing a bunch. Like if we went back to the block format, because this is when I started. These were like the first products. Um,
Mm.
and there was like nasty characters. Like I can't believe we weren't
Oh yeah.
playing this to like commit Dimitri and stuff. But you ready for the next one?
I'm ready for the next one.
All right, our next card up is Nightwave. Nightwave is a 5 difficulty, 5 high for 5 plus 1 high block, and it is a 2 check with the air, all, and good symbol. Let me know what you think about these 2 text boxes here.
Red Horizon card. All right, this is sick. I actually was one of the like 6 people that liked Red Horizon. Uh,
I like it, but I'm biased for Templar.
yeah. Honestly, for a second, I thought this was old. Oh no, the Deku punch card from Valiant Assault.
Oh,
I
okay,
thought it was
okay.
Valiant Assault for a second. I got excited, and then I was like, oh no, that's not.
No, you guys, you would have read that one, so I couldn't do that. But the one on the left,
Yeah.
Breaker 2, Powerful 2, Punch, no other abilities. And the one on the right, Powerful 2, Punch. Enhance, if you have discarded a punch attack from your card pool this turn, add 1 foundation from your staging area to your momentum.
Ooh. See, I can actually see the left one, the first one, being a thing because I think Caden, maybe somebody else actually dealt with no text box like cards and like could do things with them. So the one on the left is actually like it's feasible. Like I can see that actually existing.
So,
Um,
remember the Ryuku rule, though. Ryuku says it can't have abilities. This one has breaker and powerful as abilities. So
yeah.
there is words in the text box. So I don't know if this changes your answer, but Caden would not work with this card.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
On top of that,
Mhm.
to spoil the fun, Caden would share no symbols with this card.
Yeah, there's no symbols there, yeah.
Yeah. Which, granted, going back throughout UVS history, that's probably not worth considering whether symbols match or not.
Yeah,
But
yeah, not in
but
today's age.
I don't want to lead you down the wrong path and think that this would work with like support where it wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Um, Honestly, I wanna go with the right one because I remember Reese doing something with carpool shenanigans and punches, so
Correct.
that is very much like his card. Obviously, it's got his face on it, and he's
And his
beating the crap
symbols.
out of Lily. Yeah, and his symbols. So,
So I
yeah,
was gonna say Reese does say he has enhance, discard 1 card, clear 1 punch attack from your card pool. He has discard a punch attack from your
yeah,
card pool. And he's got response after your attack deals or Is it response or enhance? He's got an ability that says commit a foundation. When you deal damage, you draw a card.
That sounds like a response. I'm pretty sure that's a response.
You would think, but
Yeah,
it
yeah.
might be if it deals. I can't remember. Actually, I can open up another thing here, but yeah. So which of these do you think is the real card?
I'm gonna go with the right one. Final answer.
The right one
The right one.
is the fake one.
No!
Unfortunately, yeah. I figured the 2-check might be a little too obvious here to just have breaker,
Mm,
powerful, and punch. It's pretty rough for a 2.
yeah, it is very rough for a 2-check, but my brain immediately after going away from the Caden mindset, I was like, well, this is exactly what Reese does. This seems like a real card.
Yeah, I think if this was honestly, if the fake one was printed back in the day, it probably would have been played. Getting momentum wasn't like super difficult, but you would be limited to whatever was on your symbols. And, I could definitely see a world where powerful 2 5 speed is worth building around. But
Yeah.
yeah, this one, I don't think I've ever seen anyone unironically sleeve up, but I definitely have seen people ironically play Nightwave.
Yeah, I mean, the 5 difficulty 2-check, like, that would seem right for an ability like this, but maybe back then it's like, nah, why would we ever do this?
I think there's almost certainly a card like the fake one, it probably has a different condition. Adding foundations from your stage to your momentum is like a pretty neutral move. They're pretty okay with that because it has to be, typically committed for you to really get
Yeah.
benefit from it. Like Home Run Comet, existed. So
Classic.
all right, so you're over 2, but we've got 4 more chances for you to get some points on the board here. You ready for the
All
next
right.
one?
I'm ready for the next one.
All right. We've got Choshin Soku Zan Iken.
I'm floating.
If you can, I wish I could find. By the way, I really wish I could find stuff without the Jasco watermark for these because it definitely muddies up the
It
screen.
really
But
takes away.
yeah,
Yeah.
but this card looks pretty good in person too. We didn't have very many foil cards like that, and I think this was
Oh,
one of the
wow.
few sets where we got them. But I do like the art on this a lot. How about
Pretty
you read
cool.
out these 2 text boxes for us though?
All right. So the first one is charge with enhance. Have to make a 5 check, 5+. This attack cannot be blocked by foundation cards. And Andy enhance. Draw 2 cards. So your character has to be Andy. And then the second one is enhance 5+. Draw 1 card for each card in your opponent's card pool. And Andy enhance. Discard 1 momentum. This attack cannot be blocked by mid blocks. Ooh. The right ability actually makes sense to me because being able to keep it from being blocked by mids is something we've seen before. I want to say I've seen that sprinkled around in the retro cards. Not, I know for sure, like from MHA forward, like there's a handful of those. So that sounds pretty likely to me. But I feel like there wasn't a crazy amount of draw either, except for like a handful, maybe a couple cards. I think there was a Ryu card from like the Capcom 10 that didn't have Sea Viper. That had the Ryu UR.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
So tell me, what do you think about the cost of checking a 5 or higher?
uh, that seems. I guess for the left one, checking a 5 would be okay. I don't know if I actually really like that. I'll be honest, but maybe I don't know. Maybe back then that was like, no, it had to have this. But nowadays, I'm just like, ugh, I have to check a 5 to make this. There are cards that just say, hey, you can't block this at all. Different
That's
times that we
true.
live in.
Yeah,
Uh,
there's definitely been a lot of ways it's been worded too. We've got like stroke the big tree, which is a low
yeah,
attack that can't be blocked by mids. There's low attacks that say they can't be partially blocked, which means you have to block them low. We've had cards that say they can't be completely blocked. This one says it cannot
yeah.
be blocked by mid block.
Yeah, so they can still partial with a high or low, but they can't block with mids. Basically saying you're eating 7 or you're partialing this.
Don't forget, you could ask
Uh,
questions. Like, you could ask, how popular was Andy?
that's true. Actually, I was going to ask that.
Yeah.
How popular was Andy?
Andy was incredibly popular in multiple formats. Do you know what Andy
Okay.
does?
Not familiar.
So Andy, so there is actually two Andys, which is very funny. But
Okay.
one is Cowboy Bebop and one is KOF, and they have like little specific rules to kind of tell you which one it was, but it was very much like a shut up, you know which one it's supposed to be kind of a thing. Um, but so there's Andy KOF, and he has enhance discard one card from your opponent's card pool, draw one as cost, draw one card. This attack gets plus X speed. X equals the number of cards discarded from your opponent's card pool this combat phase, only playable during your attack. And then he has response commit. Discard the first card in your opponent's card pool after your opponent plays an attack, not as a block. Reduce that attack's damage to 1.
Ooh,
So he was
that sounds
very
crazy. Crazy
very
good.
popular. Yeah, he was very popular.
Pretty good.
He basically made it so you had to play attacks on +1 progressive difficulty. Because if you play an attack first, he just discards it from the card pool.
Right.
And even
See, I was drawn in from Nightwave, but because that worked with Reese's kit. So I'm like, there's a world where I could go with that one, the right one, because that sounds like it really leans into what the character does, but it could just be another trap. Or I could just be playing mind games on myself here. Uh mm, I'm gonna go with the right one. Final answer.
the right one is the real one or the fake one?
The real one.
Right one is the real one. So you're saying the left one is the fake.
Yeah, left one is fake, right one is the real one.
Let me ask you this. Do you know when charge, the keyword, was added to the game?
I do not.
Okay, good, because you are correct. That one is fake. And the charge keyword could have been a pretty big tip off because charge did not exist until much, much later. I think it was Blood Omen. It was like 5 years of design and like 4 or 5 sets later that the charge keyword existed. Yeah, Choshin, Soku, Zaniken really did have the draw one card for each card in your opponent's card pool, but Andy players didn't play this card very often despite him being very popular because you would typically just be drawing 0 cards. You would get so much more card draw from discarding the cards from their card pool. And then on top of that, Andy, this card did not become popular until there was an all symbol card called Master of Magnetism that said response before the block step, return this attack to its printed zone. It cannot be completely blocked, which effectively made
Oh,
this an unblockable combo.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I love that.
Right. And then they said that's not okay and they banned Master of Magnetism.
I see.
And then, like a year after they banned Master of Magnetism, they made the Cowboy Bebop set with Vengeance of a Fallen Angel that is just a 6 damage move that cannot be blocked.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I don't know. That's also the same product that gave us a card called Nothing Like Andy. And to this day, I'm not sure if Jasco is aware of how exactly funny that was.
Probably not.
Yeah, that they banned the Andy unblockable, then printed an unblockable attack next to a card called Nothing Like
Nothing like this one.
Andy. Yeah. But yeah, it was a little bit too much work. But yeah, this card did see its heyday. It did revive Andy at some point, and it's got a pretty interesting history. But for the most part, it pretty much I never saw anyone play it until it was unblockable. I'll say that.
Okay,
You ready for the next one?
I'm ready for the next one.
All right. We've got our first non-attack. Psychedelic Dream World, 5 difficulty foundation, no block, 3 control check. Tell me what you think about. Why don't you read these text boxes and tell me what you think about them?
Well, first off, the art kind of hurts my eyes a little. I won't lie.
Yeah, this is This is World of Endines, man. I don't know where they got it from, but
They they were on something, and this is exactly what they saw. They're like, you know what, make that an art.
yeah, they said, "Give me art for Psychedelic Dream World," and the mushrooms were uncorked.
Let's see. So the first one is first form, remove, discard 3 momentum. Both players reveal their hand, then discard all non-attack cards from each player's hands. And then the second one is first form, remove. Both players search their deck for 1 card and add it to their hand, then discard 1 random card. Okay. So with the reading the right one, it reminds me a bit of the foundation from TMNT, charismatic
Yeah,
something or
charismatic
whatever.
approach. Yeah.
Yes. So like that actually sounds like an ability that, I mean, both these actually sound like they would exist. The left one though just seems like too much of a cost for being able to just basically say, hey, if you have orange, you're going to keep those and you're going to like it.
Yeah, but what if your rival has only not like? How often does your opponent hold attacks against?
I mean, that kind of depends on how good the like attacks were, like how good the attack blocks were.
I guess if you
I
have
think.
Psychedelic Dream World in stage, it's more likely, right?
Right. Um
You could.
how I was going to say, like, how popular was like this set, I guess.
Um, it's kind of funny. Seventh Cross is pretty beloved, and it's like the same license holder. I think it's technically a different IP, but I would say Endines was very, very popular. Uh, because it had a lot of really unique stuff in it. If you ever get to look up Runica, Runica was a character that was the one of the first characters that would search their deck. And they would attach assets to them called battle fists, and you would get bonus
Mhm.
damage for each battle fist attached. And then she would remove them from the attachment zone to like ready foundation. And she also had like a crazy bounce ability, and she was pretty popular and very unique. Um,
Hmm.
there's an Avatar, the Last Airbender character, who's a 7-hander who has 4 different abilities on him, one for each elemental symbol, and they each are
Right.
like your fire attack gets damage, your air attack gets speed, or whatever it is. You know, it's all stuff like that. And so, like the
Oh, that's kind of
designs
cool.
were very popular.
Okay. Yeah. So
I think it
I'm
might
just
have.
not. I
Oh,
What's
I
up?
was gonna say, I think it also gave us the prototype for deadlock effect. It's like the first time they started doing like if you have 10 or more, or if you have more than 10 foundations, but they hadn't come up with the word deadlock yet.
I'm like the 5 difficulty is really tripping me up because I'm like, is this really what would this really make the high difficulty actually seem logical? And I'm seeing that for both for both these examples here, but I think I'm gonna go with the left one. Like the cost seems a little too high, but I don't know, maybe back in the day, being able to just rip cards out of your rival's hands, being able to just see their zones, and if they're holding on to specific zones, you just get rid of them. So maybe the cost was warranted. I'm gonna go with the left one. Final answer.
The left one is fake. It's called Spot the Fake. You got to tell me which one's
Oh, I'm sorry. I
fake.
look, we're like on the fourth one, and I don't know what the concept is.
That's fair. That's
Uh,
fair.
uh,
But just tell me
so
which one you think is fake. Final answer.
I'm gonna say the right one is fake. Final
Okay,
answer.
the right one is fake. Final answer. You do not believe in searching your deck and also then randomly discarding a card.
I do not.
All right. Well, you're right as far as playability, but you're wrong as far
No.
as the fakeness. Unfortunately, Psychedelic Dream World was one of the first cards I can remember that not only let you search your deck for a card, but let your rivals search their deck for a card. But no one played this card. I've never seen it actually sleeved up and hit the board because most people are like, what if I just discard the card I searched for?
Right. Yeah.
Not to
That makes sense.
mention, there's a decent amount of like random cards that totally screw you for making your opponent discard it. And so if your opponent has like 1 or 2 cards in hand and you're telling them to go search their deck for a card that says, when this card's discarded, you gain a bunch of health, or your opponent discards cards or whatever. Also wasn't worth it, probably. But this is one of the biggest swings, one of the biggest attempts they made back in the day for having like a shocking foundation.
Okay.
So you're 1 for 3. I think you can end up with a 50% though if you get all the rest of them correct.
I'm ready. I'll either go big or I'll just face plant hard on the ground.
All right, you ready for the next one?
I'm ready. Hit me.
All right, this is Super Legacy. This is way before Jasco. This is, I believe, like in the first 10 sets ever printed. God
Sabretooth
Hand.
games?
I'm sorry?
Was it Saber? It was Sabretooth games?
It's either Sabretooth or Fantasy Flight. I think this is actually during Fantasy Flight.
Ah, okay.
Someone in the comments, correct me down below. God Hand is a 7 difficulty +1 mid block 2-check action that has air, order, and water. Pretty cool combo for symbols. And then why don't you read these text boxes?
So the left one is form remove, discard 5 momentum, commit all foundations in both players' staging areas. Your opponent can only ready half of the foundations in their staging area during their next turn. That sounds fucked up. The right one is form, discard 5 momentum. Your combat phase ends, and then your opponent skips their ready step during their next turn. Okay.
Which one's more
Both
fucked up?
these are kind of goofy.
So I will
But I'm
point out
not
really
out.
quick, I will point out just to make sure there's no confusion. The ready
Yeah.
step is during the ready phase, and it's just
Mhm.
the step where you ready cards. So you don't not draw. You don't skip your ready
Yeah.
phase.
Yeah, you don't ready anything. You still get the review, you still get the draw.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just don't get to ready anything.
Also, look at this
Which
art. This art is so sick, by the way.
yeah, I was actually I was like looking at the art while when you brought it up and was talking about it. I was like, man, this art kind of kind of goes hard.
kind of bang. I don't. It took me like 3 times looking at it. You know, I sat there editing this, and I realized he's punching him through a wall.
Yeah, I didn't see that until just now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Let me ask you this:
Man,
which of these 2 abilities would you be more likely to play?
would I be more likely to play?
Yeah, like which of these would you rather put in a deck?
Uh, honestly, I think it would be the left one.
Okay.
Because basically having both of us having all of our foundations tapped and just seeing who has the like the most courage, the biggest the biggest dick of just like, nah, I'm gonna go in with just my stage tapped. I don't care, but I'm gonna make sure you don't have cool words when I do it.
And yet you won't play
Um,
Godzilla. Interesting.
no, Godzilla's lame.
Fair enough.
But
But
yeah,
which of these now do you think is fake?
which one is fake? Uh, the right one is so like the way it's worded sounds like something that would exist in ye olden days. I am gonna go with the left one is fake. Final
Left
answer.
left one is fake. Final answer. You think F remove, discard 5 momentum, commit all foundations, and your opponent only raise half is the fake one, and you are correct. That is the fake one. Oh, whoops! I forgot to delete the text box. My bad. So that is the actual text. I'm not scamming you. You got it right
Okay.
anyway, so I don't know how that would be a scam, but I forgot to delete the.
I've been
written
scammed
text.
with the right thing.
Yeah. I think I also forgot the last sentence is remove this card from the game. So something they did a
Okay.
lot in the past was instead of making the cost remove similar to revoke, the final sentence would be during the resolution, remove it from the game.
Yeah, I
Messed
have
up
seen some of that.
yeah, I messed up a little bit on the formatting. My bad on that. But that is the other one is super fake. The one on the right, I just forgot the one sentence. But yeah, F discard 5 momentum. Your combat phase ends, and then your opponent skips their ready step. Is is the actual deck.
Yeah. Like that, the left one is something I would be down to just play, like easy one of,
Yeah.
right? And I would be down to just be like, hey, we're both aggro decks, but I am not scared of failing some checks or just trying to kill you. But you're not going to have any defense with, you're an aggro deck, so you probably have little anyway. But I'm going to go in.
And it's not a first F. You can just dump 5 momentum midway through the turn and tap your rival out and say, I've got like a big bonus to my check. I'm ignoring progressive.
Yeah, it's true.
Little too good to be true. You ready for the last one? I believe it's the last one.
Yeah, this is number 5. So yeah, I think the next one's the last one.
Yeah, I'm famously bad at counting how many things I put in a slideshow, though. So there might be 2 more, but there's 2 more. There's 2 more. I'm tripping. See, I'm bad at this. So we've got Canine Strike, 6 difficulty, +2 mid, 2 speed mid for 5, 3 check. All of that's correct. Air Chaos Void, but this one says multiple 2 ranged. You may only play this card if there's at least one other attack in your card pool. You may destroy ally cards in addition to discarding momentum in order to pay for this card's multiple cost. This attack is plus X speed. X equals the number of foundations in your staging area with a printed difficulty of 3 or more. Each multiple copy of this attack also gains this enhance ability. Or flash ranged. If this attack is blocked, discard it from the card pool after it resolves.
Oh man, I don't remember ever pressing the fast forward button when you read out the first one. Just friggin' spat that out. That was impressive.
Yeah, I planned that, so I practiced it a little bit.
Oh man, another Red Horizon card, and this is a character I actually looked at a little bit when I was looking at trying to build a retro deck. Was it Miska, I think her name was?
Yeah, she's Russian, so I think it's pronounced Miska. That's how we always did it.
Oh yeah, Miska, Muska, Mickey Mouse.
Exactly, Mouse-Catool.
This is one crazy Mouse-Catool. I know there were 2 different Miskas, but I know one was like very ally focused.
Yeah, technically they both are.
Oh, are they? Okay, I remember seeing like looking at the first one. Don't really remember her words, but
yeah, one of them is you reveal an ally card from your hand and your rival discards a card, and the other one, and that's like once per turn, first F. The other one is you can commit a foundation. Your ranged attack gets +3 damage. Only playable if you have an ally card in your card pool. So they both kind of care about ally cards on phase. The one that gets damage bonus can add a foundation from their hand to their stage ready, so they get to like fast build something. And the other one is about flash attacks. So
yeah, I'm just trying to remember with this set. If I'm trying to remember with this set, whichever one that that Miska's in.
So the Miska that is add a foundation from your hand to your stage ready and commits a foundation for bonus damage is the Miska that shares symbols with this attack.
Okay. Man, I feel like I looked at this card a long time ago. I don't remember that much text being on that card.
I will say, I'll give you a small hint. This is probably the trickiest. Well, the last 2 are the trickiest ones. I'll say that. The last 2 I made probably the hardest and or the trickiest.
And I got one of them. Let's go.
Well, no, there's one after this.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, I lied. Remember, I'm bad at counting.
Right. I guess we're both bad at counting. I think with my prior knowledge of just like looking at Red Horizon stuff, because I like this IP, I am gonna say the left one is fake. Final answer.
The left one is the fake Canine Strike. Final answer. You think that's too much text?
I want to say I just don't remember seeing the card with that much text on it.
Okay, fair enough. So you think I just made all that up? You think I'm that good that I just typed all that out?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, well, my friend, you got me dead to rights. I am willing to do that, but you are unfortunately incorrect. This one I picked because it's got like 3 different paragraphs on it and multiple. I thought you might ask about multiple and like how it works, but
I am familiar with how multiple works. I just couldn't like I said, I don't remember the card having this much text, and I was like, I don't think she has a card with multiple on it.
Right. So I will say this one is tricky because the card you are almost certainly familiar with is very, very similar to this. Um, and it's called Concussion Blast.
Oh, that might be it.
Concussion. So I was a little tricky on this one. They're like almost the exact same art even. And Concussion Blast is flash ranged. If this attack is blocked, discard it from the card pool after it resolves.
That might be it.
Yeah.
Damn it.
So I thought, I was like, if people have skimmed through some retro stuff, because I know it'd be hard to get somebody who's completely unfamiliar, this one might trip them up. So this one's a little tricksy on my part, but there's one more. I promise there's only one more. I'm not lying this time.
Okay.
You got your last chance to get some points, get some redemption in here. And it is Zoe. Zoe is a 6 hand size, 626 air good water character. Why don't you read out those text boxes for everyone?
So the first one is form commit. Add one attack from your card pool to your staging area face down. Add one ranged attack from your card pool to your hand. Enhance once per turn. Your ranged attack gets +2 speed. And the other one is form once per turn. Add one ranged attack from your card pool to your hand. Add one attack from your card pool to your staging area face down. You cannot apply attacks for the rest of this turn. Your range enhance. Your ranged attack gets +2 speed. Another character I looked at.
Okay, all right.
And I'm tearing myself apart because I'm like, did she commit? I want to say that she did, but I'm sitting here like maybe she didn't. I'm tearing myself apart here, Sam.
It's funny that you've looked at these like specific Red Horizon cards. I didn't know you'd be a Red Horizon fan. I have to curate my my list better in the future.
I was very big on like just what I saw from the Red Horizon set, mostly just aesthetics and stuff, of course.
Yeah,
I was like, man, these cards just look very cool and
I will
sounded
say
interesting to me.
Yeah, I will say Zoe's one of the more interesting characters as far as like her mythos and her card art and stuff goes. But she's
Yeah,
a
I love this
little
art.
she's a little discombobulated as far as effects and stuff though. So she's a character who I don't see play her own cards very often, even though both of her designs you would think would be so parasitic that you'd like have to play her own cards, but I digress.
Yeah, yeah.
Because she's got two different versions and both were pretty good at least one point.
Yeah, I remember seeing that of like two different versions, but like the art was the same or something.
Yeah. One thing I want to point out is check out the cost on the ability for both of these.
Yes. The form commit at attack from your card pool to your staging area face down. That's the cost on the left one. The right one is once per turn, add one ranged attack from your card pool to your hand. And it's not a commit, it's just a once per turn. The form here is where I'm really torn because I'm pretty sure that regardless the enhances your range attack gets 2 speed, and I want to say that she commits herself for this ability.
Well, one of them is once per turn, right? The ranged attack gets +2 speed. So do you remember which of these had a once per turn, or where the once per turn was?
I'm like 60% certain that it was enhanced once per turn.
60%'s not a lot.
Okay, but you have to understand.
If someone told you
a long time ago,
if someone told you can eat an M&M, but you have a 60% chance to survive, would you eat it?
Honestly, with me being the cautious type, no way.
So that's not a lot.
It is not a lot, but that I don't trust my brain right now because my brain is fighting me in here.
That's fair.
It's crazy. I think sitting here and mulling it over, I'm gonna say the right one is fake. Final answer.
Final answer. You think your ranged attack, its +2 speed, is once per turn?
Yes.
All right. Well, it's silly now because you said final answer, and you are correct. Whoops! I put the fake on the wrong one. I'm pretty bad at this.
Okay, yeah, for a second,
It's my first.
Like, wait a minute.
My first time running through this. I know what happened too on this one, because I had some formatting issues. I started to hit undos, and because the fake was on the left. All right. Anyways, my bad.
Yeah.
The fake one is the one on the right, as you can see by the fact that the text is now unrevealed. And this one, do you know why this one was also tricky?
Why? Which one? Why?
So this one's a little bit tricky because I combined Zoe 3. Zoe 3, there's technically a third version, and it is the errated version of this character. So if you don't know, so if you don't know, Zoe 2 was so broken because adding an attack from your card pool to your staging area face down ready as a cost, and then adding a ranged attack to your hand is super broken. They reprinted Zoe 3 with basically the exact same ability, except it had the text you cannot play attacks for the rest of this turn from your hand. And at the time, there was basically no way to play them from somewhere other than the hand. So I don't even know why they had that writer text on there. But, they just had you cannot play attacks from your hand for the rest of this turn. So I thought I could get a little tricky because, again, if you had scrolled through UVS Ultra, when you hit the Zoes, Zoe 2 and Zoe 3 should be like right next to each other, right?
Yes.
So I thought maybe I could get you with the final sentence there.
Nah, because I specifically remember, unlike like the last attack where I was like, I think I saw this. I know I looked at Zoe a handful of times.
Okay.
And that's where my brain was like getting hung up on. I was like, is the form commit or not? I want to say it is.
All right, fair enough. Well, you did pretty good towards the end. You got a few of them in there, right? I think you went 3 for 3 out of 6.
I think so. I want to say so.
That's not bad, especially since you're not that familiar with retro. I gotta find someone who's actually never looked at retro cards but played standard, though. If you know anyone like that, refer them to me, please.
I was gonna say I know Steph definitely fits that mold.
Yeah, I need
really anyone from Response on Play minus Jake knows about the same amount as I do because we basically started at the same time. But
yeah, this is like the one time where I need people who aren't interested in retro stuff because they'll be like the prime suspects. But thank you very much for joining me, man. I had a whole lot of fun. I hope you did too.
Yeah, man, this was fun. This was very awesome. I loved being a part of it.
Did you see any cards that you might want to go back and maybe build like a retro deck around now?
Honestly, it would have to be the Hyper Mega Buster.
Yeah, this guy Hyper Mega Buster is pretty crazy in retro.
I literally get to play this and say I get to, provided that I have the means to pay the cost and everything, I just get to commit 2 cards and one of them being your character. Or like you said earlier, if they ready their character somehow, I say no, the character's tapped.
No, it goes again, yeah. Hey, he could. This card commits backups like 10 years before backups existed.
Yeah, this is yeah. Like this card is like as more cards came out, like this sounds like really good because it can commit the character. But since we have backups and everything, like the potential of this card, I think just got lifted so much higher.
Yeah, it's funny. Like characters used to commit themselves anyways, so half the time your opponent's character would just be committed from like their own turn. So it wasn't like the craziest deal in the world. But at the same time, I mean, problem solve any card in stage twice is pretty alluring.
That is pretty good. And again, like swinging at a backup too, like you could even commit the backup so they don't get a chance to use it.
Yeah.
Depending on like what the backup is, you can say, no, you don't get those words. I'm swinging at it and you're going to lose it.
Well, my friend, I've had a wonderful time. We do got to wrap this up here. Do you have any shout outs you got to do? Anyone you want to speak to, plug your channel, all that good stuff?
Yeah. So would love it if everyone that watches this checks out Response on Play. Like I said, we do, or more so what Sam said, We do universes content. We have our UVS podcast, just the Responsible Play podcast. We do a little bit of Riftbound content as well, trying to ramp that up. And a lot of shorts content. We do a lot of goofy stuff for our shorts. That's kind of where our outlet for goofy stuff is, minus the reveals that we do. But yeah, I would love it if you checked us out over there.
Awesome. And of course, you guys can like, share, subscribe. Let me know down in the comments below how bad I am at putting together these slideshows and anything I might have gotten wrong about some of those cards. Like I said, God Hand is even before my time. So, there might have been an error here or there. Maybe I said your favorite card in this in this slideshow wasn't very good, but for the most part, most of those cards did see at least some level of play, top cut success. Nightwave probably the main outlier, and Psychedelic, Dream World, of course. I don't think anyone ever played seriously, but that's going to do it for this day of Acemas. Check back tomorrow for another in the 12 days of Acemas, leading all the way up to Christmas. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.